I will. Rookie year in the books. You seem like a lot to make an all rookie team. That's coming off an off season where you didn't play at all really until October, September, whatever it was. As you look into this off season and assuming you could stay healthy, what's the excitement level for you personally as to what you could look like with a full healthy off season coming into next year?
Oh man, I mean, now that the season's over, had a little bit of time to reflect, and talking to coach and some of the other coaches in terms of like what I want to accomplish as an individual next year. I would say excitement is an understatement for what I know I can do with a full healthy offseason. Like, I think I accomplished a lot this year, and not only just like the successes, but even like the failures. Like, I wasn't scared to fail, which is good. Obviously, it sucks to fail, but at the same time, that's the only way you can learn and grow. And for me, to do that with an off season, where I couldn't do what I wanted to do due to a shoulder tear, like now that that's behind me, and God forbid any other injuries or any nagging things, the sky's the limit. Like, all I can say is, come next season, you'll see the progress.
Planning on suiting up for summer league?
Yes.
And going into the summer, you just said we'll see the progress. What are some of the things that you plan on emphasizing, whether it's the dialogue with the coaches, you on a personal level? What are some things in your game that you want to take, to that next level?
Yeah, man. I think like everything, honestly. I think my first and foremost, like just becoming a better defender, both on and off the ball. I think that comes with reps, and like in the summer, it won't just be me working out. I'll be getting live, games and playing open runs and playing against different type of players. But ultimately, just having that as your forefront, and then like for me, my offensive skill set, it's easy to work on offense. So it's like, obviously get better with handling the ball, like you say, put yourself in game-like situations where you can make reads, and then work on shots you got this season, and then ones you're expecting to get next season, depending on like obviously what I've talked to coach and the coaching staff about. I'm not going to give away too much, but we got a good outline, we got a good plan set forward, and I'm super excited for it.
Years, and he tells you all the time he looks at you like a young Jimmy Butler. When he tells you that, what does that mean to you? And also, what is that? I know it's been only a couple months. What's that relationship been like with Taj?
Hey man, I think like to be compared to Jimmy Butler is great. I mean, he's one of the best players in our league, and he's proven a lot. Like, I think his growth from when he first got drafted with Chicago to when we saw him winning playoff games and, carrying Miami to the finals, and to now even with the Warriors, like before his injury, he was, still getting buckets and doing all what Jimmy Butler does. So for it to be compared to that is awesome. Obviously, there's only one him and there's one me, but at the same time, like when you're getting comparisons to players of that caliber, I mean, it's nothing but positive. And then, like you said, Taj is like, he's the one person that I say I grew a relationship with the quickest, because like he just came to the team one day, and like all of a sudden, like his just leadership, his vet mentality just like poured into everybody. And for me, like we got real close because like we played dominoes on the plane, so I was leading him, helping him through dominoes, and same thing, like he helps me on the court with many different things, and at that point we just grow the relationship from there.
In the past, this team has featured guys like Jaren, who had a ton of experience going into the summer, probably leading some of those workouts and types of things in the offseason. You still have Ty, and we'll see what the rest of the roster looks like, but do you take some ownership of that and trying to be a leader this offseason when it comes to team workouts and everybody improving?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously we have, tenured guys who are, vets in terms of years, but at the same time, like I think anybody can be a leader, just like with actions and voice. Obviously, I think actions speak louder than words. Like that actually means something to me. And so when I go into not only the summer, by myself, but also when we come back and when we go into summer league, I think it's going to be like the actions I present and the way I move in terms of like my attitude, everything like that will pour into everybody else. And if it's positive, then we'll have a positive time. But ultimately, becoming a leader has always been something I've done ever since I was young, and I'm not going to stop now.
We all know you took a little bit of an unconventional route to get to this point. because of that, you came into the league maybe just a little bit older than a lot of lottery picks do, who are one and done types. Does that make you feel more pressure to have a quicker development arc, to grow quicker, because you're not starting as young?
No. Do you know when Michael Jordan was drafted, how old he was?
Yep.
He wasn't 18. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's many players in this league that were obviously the one and done story is probably the quickest route, or, you know, the most, I guess, flashy one to say. But at the same time, it's like that kind of doesn't mean anything. Like for me, I'm 22 years old, but at the same time, like I tell people all the time, I've only had really like a year and a half of actual NBA development, because I didn't grow up playing on any circuits. I didn't know any NBA players. I didn't, you know, play at a Power 5 college, like all this stuff. So I didn't have the, I guess, the resources some of these 5 stars and stuff have. You know, I wasn't on McDonald's All-American. So my journey has always been, you know, the hard way, I guess is what you can say. And not saying the others aren't, but at the same time, with the lack of resources and the lack of, you know, exposure to that extent, I mean, I think I'm just getting started.
For you, this summer, how much do you like pay attention as an observer to what will happen, you know, with this team in terms of draft prospects and things before the draft? Like, is that something like you'll be keeping an eye on, just to pay attention, you know, and kind of learn some of those prospects and whatnot, or, you know, just how do you approach that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, whenever there's movement within your own family, I mean, you got to keep an eye on it. I'm not going to leave and then come back and it's a whole new thing. I don't know anything about it. Like, obviously, that's decisions for the front office to make. And, you know, like I said, the construction of the team is going to be based off of them and whatever strengths they think we have. But at the same time, I'll definitely keep an eye on it. Like, I don't have any insight on it, but I'll keep an eye. And then, like I said, I'll make sure, as an individual, I make sure I'm getting better and doing what I need to do to help the team get better, no matter how it's constructed or no matter what moves they decide to make.
When you first arrived here, you were sitting right there at that podium. You said this is part of your leadership skills, like just the fact that you're a team guy, and you know, hot wings is a way that you kind of, you know, connect with people, get in the kitchen. So since you've been through your first NBA season, I want to know, besides playing dominoes, were you able to get in the kitchen and, you know, show your teammates some of your cooking skills?
Yeah, you know, not my teammates. Due to me, it was less of like actual chicken wings and like real food like that. I made desserts because I baked too, but I did it for more of the medical staff. I mean, our teammates, we had to play, you know, so so making sure that, you know, we were still eating good and stuff like that. But, you know, the medical staff, they do a lot. So for me, I was just like, show my appreciation. And to my PT, Jared Boyd, he kept telling me like I couldn't do it. Yeah. So I had to prove to him he was wrong.
If you guys stay healthy, do you think this team could be back playing meaningful basketball next year?
I do. I think we're real scary. We're young, hungry. I think Coach has us in the right mindset, the right focus on what to strive for as a team. And like I said, it's going to be based off of health and obviously how we develop and play. But if everything goes the way I think it can go, I believe so.